The void beyond the eastern fringe had always been a mystery to the Imperium of Man. Imperial cartographers marked these regions with warnings and mythical beasts, a testament to humanity's ancient tradition of labeling the unknown with monsters. In the year 745 of the 41st millennium, these superstitions would prove prophetic as a new predator emerged from the intergalactic void, one that would challenge the very survival of the galaxy. The first whispers of the coming horror manifested on the agri-world of Tyranids. Initial Vox reports described unidentified vessels approaching from beyond the eastern fringe, moving in patterns that defied conventional void warfare tactics. The Imperial Navy dispatched a small reconnaissance fleet to investigate what they presumed were Orc raiders, or perhaps a splinter of the Eldar corsairs known to haunt the region. The fleet never returned. Subsequent astropathic communications from Tyranids grew increasingly fragmented and disturbing. The planetary governor described bizarre biological constructs raining from the skies, while administratum census takers reported entire settlements falling silent within hours. The Adeptus Munitorum classified these incidents as standard Xenos raids, allocating resources according to threat assessment protocols that had served the Imperium for millennia. It was a catastrophic misclassification. When the Adeptus Mechanicus research vessel Admonisher arrived at Tyranids 3 weeks later, they found not a planet but a barren rock stripped of all biomass. Atmospheric readings showed oxygen levels plummeting, and orbital scans revealed not a single trace of the billions of livestock that had once roamed the planet's vast plains. More disturbing were the massive gouges in the planetary crust, as if something had physically consumed portions of the world itself. Among the Admonisher's complement was Inquisitor Kryptman of the Ordo Xenos, a methodical and experienced threat analyst who had spent decades studying unusual Xenos migration patterns in the eastern fringe. Where others saw isolated incidents, Kryptman recognized a pattern. The attacks on Tyranids and neighboring systems shared distinctive characteristics: complete biomass consumption, atmospheric degradation, and a shadow that seemed to fall over the warp itself, disrupting astropathic communication. Kryptman's investigations led him to an abandoned research outpost on the moon of Tyranids. There, amidst the carnage, he discovered partial picked recordings and biological samples that would form the foundation of Imperial knowledge about the new threat. The recordings showed creatures unlike any documented Xenos species, organisms that seemed to blend chitinous exoskeletons with reptilian characteristics, moving with terrible purpose and coordination. The Inquisitor transmitted his findings to the Inquisitorial Conclave at Bacca, warning of what he termed a Great Devourer, a nomadic alien superorganism that consumed worlds not for territory or ideology, but simply to feed. His warnings were met with skepticism. The Imperium had faced countless Xenos threats over the millennia, and many in the Inquisition viewed Kryptman's concerns as hyperbole. This skepticism dissolved when the Tandros system fell. Located 20 light-years from Tyranids, Tandros was a heavily fortified Imperial naval depot with 3 garrison worlds and substantial orbital defenses. The system's destruction was not merely a military defeat, it was a comprehensive consumption. Astropathic choirs across the sector felt the psychic death screams of billions, followed by an unnatural silence. Kryptman arrived at Tandros to find the system's planets transformed. Where once had stood thriving Imperial cities, now stretched vast reclamation pools filled with digestive fluids. The very soil had been liquefied and absorbed, leaving only bare bedrock. Most disturbing were the orbital platforms, now serving as incubation chambers for countless alien organisms. It was here that Kryptman first coined the term Tyranids, named after the world where they were first encountered. The Adeptus Mechanicus dispatched the biological research vessel Omniscia's insight to study these new organisms. Magos Biologi's Heron serpents led the investigation, collecting specimens from what remained of Tandros 3. His preliminary findings revealed a terrifying truth. The Tyranids were not a species, but a vast collection of specialized organisms engineered through accelerated evolution. Each creature served a specific function within the greater whole, from the microscopic phage cells that broke down organic matter to the massive synapse creatures that directed the swarm's activities. Serpents identified several distinct Tyranid bioforms. The termagants and hormagaunts served as the swarm's basic infantry, overwhelming defenses through sheer numbers. Larger creatures like the warriors appeared to function as battlefield commanders, while the massive carnifexes acted as living siege engines. Most disturbing were the zoanthropes, powerful psychers that could manipulate the warp and devastate the minds of those who opposed